Hey, what's up guys, Andy here, and today we're finally doing my video of Does It Still Hold Up, Blue Exorcist or Anno Exorcist. I'm going to refer to it as Blue Exorcist in this episode, and I hope you all can't hear the background. It's currently piss-pouring rain and thundering, but I really wanted to just get this video put up because I had so much fun rewatching the series, and I'm going to be going through every episode and talking about it a little bit and then throwing up my initial review that I gave literally minutes after watching the episode on each one and answer the question, does it still hold up? Now, what I refer to that as is, does it still hold up as a good anime, and does it still hold up as my favorite anime? If you don't know because you haven't been with the channel for a while or you haven't kept up with my Instagram, Blue Exorcist was my very first anime I ever watched, and I fell in love with it for numerous reasons. The characters kind of like drew me in. Not counting that, it was really cool. It had action in it, you know, all this stuff. And at that time, I thought anime was for nerds, but I was in study hall, and I was a junior in high school, and the only other junior in there was this girl named Marissa, and these two kids who were sophomores at the time, named George and Jamie. And they were kind of really big into it. Marissa more so. She had an account on Instagram that got me to start my Instagram, and it kind of blossomed from there. I fell in love with anime, and I started watching everything that led to Fairy Tail, that led to Naruto, all that. And I really credit this show for me even wanting to watch anime, because if it wasn't for it, I would have never probably got into it. So it's a really big one for me, but does it still hold up as my favorite anime at the end of the day? That's the question we're going to get to in this video. So without further delay, gang, let's go ahead and jump right on into this. One more quick thing before we get started, though. I do want to push my Instagram because I'm going to be reviewing over Blue Exorcist Season 2, which I have not watched yet. That's why I kind of wanted to do this first. And I would really enjoy if y'all were there to check it out. But, you know, you can hit me up there. Check it out. It's at The Last Exorcist, as you can see on the screen. It's just a fun time. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get right into the bulk of this video.
They say you don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. And no, I don't wanna be alone in the world out there.
Alright, so going into episode 1, we can all credit this video to this picture right here. I saw this when Yukio was patching up Rin, and I was like, that's a cool little Easter egg. I never noticed that Mephisto was on the first aid kit. So I decided to start taking screenshots there, and it led into this, which this is my most liked Instagram post as of yet. And I'm really happy about it. It was just a fun little scene of Shiro going grown-ups. I don't see any grown-ups here making fun of Rin. And this episode was just so, I don't know how to explain it. It was like such a refresher for me. Like, holy shit, I love this anime. I forgot how much I actually enjoy it. And that's what really sparked this whole video here. So yeah, we move past that and we get to the badass scene with Shiro, you know, exorcising, I about said executing, exorcising the demon from this boy who, you know, was just upset and pissed off at the world. So yeah, I gave this episode an 8.5 out of 10, which I kept all my ratings a little bit lower in the beginning because I was like, I don't want to just throw out 10s, you know, I don't want to just throw out high ones, but there's a lot of 9s and 9.5s, but this one was a solid 8.5 for me. I felt like it was good, but you know, it could have, you know, been better in some ways, but I still absolutely loved it, you know. So let's go on to episode 2. So for episode 2, we kind of had the first big dramatical scene in the series to where, you know, Shiro wasn't gonna make it out, and I loved Shiro. I wish Shiro could have stuck around more, but he made more of an impact dying than he would have been alive. We find out so much about him in the series, and this scene in particular right here, that boy is my son, and I'm taking him back. Even after Rin, you know, said don't ever, you know, act like my father again, he was still that, you know, he was fighting Satan, you know, a demon, the biggest demon in there, and he said, you know, Rin tells him, he's like, listen to me, I haven't even shown you anything yet, don't die, old man. So I ended up giving this one a 9.5. I was like, I don't want to give high scores, but holy fuck, this was the best episode. This is the best episode in the series, in my opinion. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to episode 3. Episode 3 is where I really got hyped up the most. Mephisto coming into frame was like one of the hypest moments ever for me, because he was one of my favorite characters in the entire series, which I'm pretty sure he's one of everybody's. And well, I see the sun's out. It's a glorious day for new beginnings, wouldn't you say? Right after they just lost their dad, and the hostility between Yukio and Rin is still there, and this scene really drove it over the edge. This scene alone got this score for this episode. Yukio's telling him, something had to shatter his soul, and then, Rin's thinking back, he's like, yeah, don't ever let me see you acting like my father again. And Yukio says if Dad had one weakness, it was you. And Rin says, listen to me, we're brothers. Don't point your fucking gun at me, dog. So that's why I love this episode so much. So I did give it a 9.5 out of 10. So hate me if you think I'm being, he's just giving high scores. I'm sorry, that's how I personally feel. And if you feel different, I would love to know in the comments down below, because then I can kind of, get perspective on it. You know what I mean? Episode 4 was the introduction of Shiemi, and at first, I never really liked Shiemi back in the day, but this time around, her story just kind of hit me a little bit harder. I don't know if it's because I actually paid attention more, or I just, loved her character from what I knew later on. But, the whole story with her grandma, dying was really more powerful this time around for me, but this episode in general was just kind of like, Yukio and Rin, they made up, and now he's kind of showing Rin, he is an exorcist. He does this. And Shiemi just kind of pops up, and Rin says, we saved her, but somehow it feels like I'm the one who got saved. So I did give this one a 7 out of 10, because it wasn't as powerful to me as the other 3, but it's still a very solid, good episode. So yeah, that's just why I give it this rating. I hope you can let me know in the comments if you think I'm crazy or not. Episode 5 was where we really got to see Bon and Rin's characters kind of collide. I loved it. I loved everything about it, and it has my favorite edit I've done, well, the anime quote edit things that I've ever done, which is this scene right here. This guy's pissing me off, this guy's so annoying, and they're just like, they're so similar, but they're so different all at the same time, and it just made for a great scene. So I gave it an 8 out of 10. I'm happy with that score, maybe even higher. Episode 6, we kind of got introduced to a more lighthearted side of the series, and it was this demon chef. I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but they pissed him off because Rin was cooking, and so they had to start eating Mephisto's food, and that turned into a funny scene, and this was hilarious. Bon tells him, he's like, y'all better not look at him. Look him in the eyes. Stupidity is contagious. And I was like, that's cool, but the demon ends up cooking these 4 girls in a pot. That's kind of the premises of the episode, and it's because Yukio was too scared to eat their lunch because, he's not really a ladies' man, even though in this school he kinda is. So it gave us a 6.5 from me, but I still loved it. Don't get me wrong, the lower scores, unless I give anything like a 4, I loved it. Episode 7 for me is kind of the eye-turning episode where we kind of get the reveal, like, not everything is so happy-go-cheery in this school, and things can go wrong, and there are people out to get Rin. I mean, he is the spawn of Satan after all. And this episode really kind of started to pour Izumo out as this full-fledged character, and she was so scared and everything because her friend almost died because she wasn't strong enough. And then we got the big reveal here of, this dude is a teacher here, but he's evil, and he's like, so you failed? Was that a howl? Or perhaps you're amused at how far I've fallen to become a demon's lapdog. So I gave it a 7 out of 10. I loved this episode, but then again, it really was just kind of the setup for what was to come later on in the series. Alright, so episode 8 was a really good episode in my opinion, but Shima stole the show here with this line. He's like, there's nothing here to see. My eyes must be playing tricks on me. Either that or we gotta do, ah! And he opens the door, that demon walks through, and they're all trying to, fight it, and Rin kind of succumbs to using his flames in this one, and he doesn't use it around the other guys, so it kind of doesn't matter. But then at the end of the episode, Bond tries to beat his ass because he ran off and almost got killed. And, this kind of shows that they actually do have a bond between them. So, like, I really found that fascinating. So I did give it an 8.5 out of 10. I felt like I kind of graded this one a little bit high because I am such a Shima fuckboy, but even like an 8 I feel like would work with this episode, but I did end up giving it the 8.5. I kind of had mixed feelings about it. So for episode 9, it was a really powerful episode for the most part. We did get this little flashback scene of how Yukio and Shiemi met, which was really cute, and she's like, I'll call you Yuki, how about I call you Yuki? And Yukio's like, I guess it's cute, it works. But the real standout moment is when Rin took the shot. He took the stab and he's like, did that make you feel any better? If you think you're still not satisfied, I mean, I can handle more. I'm used to it. Pick the time and I'll be there waiting for you. But you gotta promise me you won't drag innocent people into it again. And we get the reveal of a Maimon in this episode. So, a Maimon is confirmed my favorite little demon. So, he's concerned on why his brother and father are so obsessed with Rin, but this is a 9 out of 10 for me. I loved it. A Maimon is my favorite, so it kind of, a little bit biased here, but it was a great episode and overall of showing how much Rin has grown as a character. So yeah, I mean, I loved it. So episode 10 was a big milestone for me because not only did we get Kuro introduced to the story, but I started making these into videos and put the characters' voices behind them. So if you want to check those out, check them out on my Instagram. A lot of funny scenes on this one. And this is probably one of my favorite scenes of all time. Yukio goes, what are you, crazy? I don't have time to play these games with you right now. Go away. And it's like, tough shit. So it was really funny. And then, we got into the serious part with Kuro, and I'm not gonna lie, I might have cried a little bit, but Shiro was a great character, and Kuro really represents that to the fullest on how upset he really was about what happened. And I was really upset about it, and then I remembered how Rin kind of did the same thing and, got it, and I was really happy with it. So 9.5 out of 10, dog. It was well worth it, and it well deserved. So yeah, might honestly be the saddest scene in the entire series, besides maybe Shiro dying, which I still think this is sadder. Alright, so episode 11, I will go ahead and say it got my lowest score, but I still enjoyed it. To me, it kind of felt like more of a filler episode, but I'm okay with that due to the fact that it highlighted Shima, who is best monk boy, by the way, confirmed, and Izumo, who is best girl, confirmed. So it was kind of like a little episode around them and this little boy who kind of had this thing to where his dad was gone, and the Kraken took him or whatever, and it kind of just all played out in the end. But 6 out of 10. I really enjoyed the way they set it up, and I could have went maybe a 5 on this, but I did enjoy the dynamic that was kind of created here. So yeah, 6. Episode 12, we finally get to see a Maimon in action, even though it's not full action. He comes in and he's like, who am I? Oh right, my name's Maimon. I'm a demon king. You could say I'm an older brother of yours. Nice to meet you. Oh, and I'm not giving your sword back, by the way. So, this whole episode was kind of really fun with the big reveal of Kirigakure. I can't say her name, okay? Don't mess with me, dog. I'm just gonna call her Shura. How about that? So yeah, she is actually a spy, pretty much, for the Vatican, investigating Shiro and Mephisto. Which, we talk about in a minute, because she does end up finding out, but she kind of takes them in for questioning at the end of this one, so I did give this a 7.5 out of 10. So yeah, I mean, just a very solid, good episode. I mean, I couldn't really ask for too much more out of this, but it would have been nice if, I hadn't already knew the big reveal. I think I might have gave it a little bit higher. Episode 13 is kind of where we find out, Shura and Shiro's past and everything that they went through, and she was wanting, Shira wanted her to train him in the sword, but, she was like, I'm not doing that, screw that. And so they have this conversation, which was really cool. It's like Rin says, there's no way I'm gonna let myself get killed in a place like this, you hear? I swore on his grave that someday I was gonna be a great exorcist like him, and that I'd be the one who beat the shit out of Satan. And she kind of laughs at him. You're going to beat the shit out of Satan? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to be a paladin, the most powerful exorcist of all. And then once I'm a paladin, everyone's going to know that my dad was right all along. So I gave this an 8.5 out of 10. Easily one of the coolest interrogation episodes ever, until we get to the Mephisto investigation. So we'll talk about that. Alright, episode 14, they are pretty much deciding on who's going to be able to go on missions here. They're going to be all put up against each other, which we find out they're not really, but we had a fun little scene here with Rin's cooking, and then Rin almost got busted with the blue flames because he went to save Shiemi, and Bon saw the blue flames, but he didn't see where they came from. So this was a really powerful scene for me in the long run. But, yeah, I mean, just knowing what was to come was even more powerful to me because, like, I knew what was gonna happen. So, I gave it an 8 out of 10, but this is another hugely funny scene from Shima. Shima says, oh my god, I think I'm gonna piss myself, and Rin says, maybe you'd feel better if you did, you never know. So, I gave it an 8 out of 10, it's whatever for me. So episode 15 was kind of the big reveal. Amaimon attacks, and, well, before he attacks, Rin's sitting here pondering, what if everyone found out I was the son of Satan? What would they think of me then? What would happen? Which, we get to see that in a minute. But, yeah, I mean, it was really great foreshadowing for me anyway, because I knew what was going to happen, but I didn't know exactly how it went down. I kind of forgot, but Amaimon attacked and took Shiemi hostage, and he broke Konohamaru's arm and fucked up Shima, so it was well deserved for him to do it. But I know I forgot don't in this this image. You can't, fault me for messing up. I did these all at like 4 in the morning, so don't at me, bro. But yeah, I loved the episode. I gave it a 9 out of 10. It was a really good reveal, and I think it was probably one of my favorite episodes ever. So yeah, let's go ahead. Alright, episode 16 is kind of the aftermath of what happened here, and Rin is going berserk, and Shiemi runs up to him and grabs him, and he kind of falls, and this episode was called The Wager, and we got to see what the wager was. It's a wager on Rin. And this scene right here, which is it's so much better with the audio, trust me, gang. But it says, by order of the Grigori, advisor of the true cross, I shall execute the spawn of Satan, which, this is Angel, he's the paladin. He's the highest exorcist so far. But I give this episode a 9.5 out of 10. It was great setup, great plot twist, great reveal, and you don't actually know what's going to happen to Rin here. I mean, you kind of do if you've seen it before, but I was like, holy shit, I mean, it's an anime, so they're going to let him live, right? But at the time, I had never watched an anime before in the beginning, so I was like, oh no, Rin's going to die. Rin's gone. Bye. See you later, Rin. But no, it worked out in the end, and the next episode was really good as well. And the final episode we're going to be talking about, because I was told that episode 18 up is not canon, and that goes into season 2, which we'll be doing later. But it's the episode where Rin is pretty much training, and he's on trial. Yeah, I mean, he's on trial here, and Mephisto really kind of played this part like a showsman, like, no pressure, but the polls will be closing soon. Time to cast your votes, yay or nay. Will Rin save us, or will he destroy us? Find out next time on Who Wants to Be an Exorcist. But no, I love this episode, not gonna lie. The whole Izumo thing at the ending was really good as well. Izumo in Rin is my ship. I'm sorry for all you Shiemi fans. I'm sorry. I ship her with Yukio. But don't at me, bro. Because Yukio and Shiemi kind of had that older bond than her and Rin, but it's whatever. It's whoever you prefer. But I give it a 9 out of 10. Loved the episode. Can't wait to see what season 2 holds. So does it hold up? As an anime, you're damn right it holds up. No question about it, this holds up as a great anime. Does it hold up as my favorite? Yeah. I didn't think it might at first, because I do love Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. If you've seen my video on that, I spent 50 minutes rambling about it. But I loved it. I loved Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, but for a different reason. This show gives me hype, motivation, and I'm in love with the characters already. With Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I'm in love with the characters as well and the storytelling, but it wasn't my first anime, and it wasn't the reason that I ever watched another anime. So, at the end of the day, still my favorite anime. I'm glad I rewatched it, and I can't wait to get into Season 2. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you're new here, or you just want to help the channel and grow in general, that'd be great. But yeah, without further delay, gang, I'm going to go ahead and head out, and peace out.
Go, go.